This episode is rated M for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
From the gridiron to the ball diamonds, from the hardwood to the ice rinks, from the fairways to the octagon and everywhere in between. If it makes headlines, it's fair game on the Sports Reel podcast on the PFC Entertainment Network. And we welcome you to the Sports Reel podcast live here on the PFC Entertainment Network, along with Tim Sheridan and Eric Mendal. I'm Jason Clouse. We certainly appreciate you tuning in on this fine Tuesday night. We're going a little bit longer. We have a lot of things we want to touch on, talk about this week, all around the world of sports. Gentlemen, as we do each and every week here, this is one of the highlights that I look forward to. Good to see you both. How's things in Studio Day Sheridan?
Eric, you start.
Besides it being August and it's only 74 degrees out, not even today, and it's raining all the time, good. It's August. I want a little bit left of summer to still be here. But what I can see is going to happen is September is going to be hot as balls, and it's going to be pissed me off. It's going to get closer to hunting season. But other than that, can't complain. Woke up on the right side of the earth today.
Yep, 100%. And as I like to say, everything else is cream cheese. So, Eric, I have found that at this time of year, especially when you're dealing with weather, there's two types of people. There's one type like you who would like to see summer extended a little bit. And then on the flip side of that, there are people who are over the whole summer thing. They're ready for the fall, and cooler temperatures like this are getting them all excited about fall time activities. Your apple ciders, your pumpkin patches, football season is literally right around the corner. We're nearing the end of baseball season. We're starting to see glimpses of what the playoffs may look like. So it's a unique dynamic, in terms of how people respond to the weather. We're coming up to a holiday weekend this weekend, so that snuck up on me. I didn't realize yesterday I have a 3-day weekend this weekend, so I'm pretty excited about that. Tim.
Don't get me wrong. I love the fall time. I love the cooler weather. But we have cooler weather for like 7 months here.
That's
just
fair.
A couple more weeks of shorts and,
you lie.
Cut off TV. Tim, shut the fuck up with your Kansas City bullshit on today. Just saying.
You're not Kansas City.
Hey, Tim.
Go ahead and start. You fucking pissed me off. Go ahead and start, you fuck.
Was it laundry day today, Tim? There was nothing else to wear?
No. Okay. I will tell you exactly why I'm wearing this. One, I am a Kansas City fan. If you cannot see the Mahomes jersey behind me, greatest quarterback to ever play the game.
What?
Yeah, you shut the fuck up now.
Nope.
You shut the fuck up.
Everyone in the fucking world of sports will disagree with you.
I don't give a fuck what everybody in the world of sports will disagree with. What? This motherfucker has been a gem for not only the United States, but for Kansas City. Anyways, my week has been going fantastic. I mean, it's only Tuesday, so the week just started like 2 days ago. But the weekend was great. We went up to Frankenmuth for the weekend. Well, not the whole weekend, because obviously I had to work on Saturday, and then we were going to go after work, but then I decided that it wanted to rain, just like Eric was bitching about that. It just seems to rain
today.
Fucking
rained today.
But we went up there on Sunday and enjoyed ourselves up there, and we finally made it into Bronner's. I've never been there. Amy's never been there.
Huh?
Chase has never been there. So we were like, let's go to Bronner's. I know it sounds weird, but
that's 100% weird. How have you not been to Go there during Christmas time. It's even better.
It's whatever. Let me finish my story, damn it.
You shouldn't have started drinking so early today.
We're off the rails right out of the gate here.
Yeah, he's wearing fucking shitty Kansas City stuff.
Okay, so anyway, so we go into Bronner's, and Chase is in heaven. Obviously, like, Chase really enjoys Christmas, and he knows, or not knows, fuck, I've been drinking. This is going to be an interesting show, Jason. I'm just saying this, and we're going for 2 hours, so there's going to be a lot of potty breaks. But anyway.
Potty breaks.
We go in there. Chase really enjoys Christmas, and he really enjoys Christmas ornaments. He has his own little tree. So we go in there, and he starts finding all these ornaments. Obviously, there's fucking ornaments galore in there because it's Christmas all year round, and that's all it is, a Christmas ship. So he picks out, I think, about 15 ornaments out of that place.
Holy shit.
Wow.
We get to the counter.
$500.
It's just all ornaments. It's not $500. Some of them were on sale.
Yeah, it was August.
So, and some of them were crazy. Like there was a Colonel Sanders.
Yeah,
Christmas
they have
ornament that he
anything and
picked out.
everything you can think of.
There was a bunch of weird looking fucking gremlin looking animal things. Like he likes all this oddball shit for his little tree. But we get to the counter, and all of a sudden the lady rings it all up, and she packages it all up, puts it in boxes. She's like, "All right, your total's going to be $252."
I was halfway there. I was halfway
And we're
there.
like, holy shit.
Do you see the fucking little village stuff they have? How much that shit is?
Well, Chase actually likes the village stuff. He has his own little village that he puts up every year for Christmas. I mean, the thing's huge.
It's a problem. I like that stuff, but it's so fucking expensive.
From there, not gonna fucking happen. Never. Like we looked at one little house, it was like $167.
Yep.
Dave, it's good to see you back this week, brother. We missed you last week. We will make sure that Jason here eventually brings you the PBA report. But right now I have to finish my weekend. But anyways, yeah. So $252 at Bronner's, on top of all the other money that we spent in Frankenmuth. Obviously, we went to the Bavarian Inn, then ate there, but we ate out on the patio. I actually had a burger. It was pretty good. Enjoyed it. Then we went down to the bakery, and we bought some baked goods. And Jason looks like he's off at his own planet. What are you shaking your head for? What happened?
You went to the Bavarian Inn.
I don't like their fucking chicken. I don't want to hear it. Their chicken's fucking gross. Yes, their chicken's gross.
That's what they're known for.
They give you nothing but white meat, and I fucking hate white meat.
That's racist.
Yeah, Dave, we did a show last Tuesday. We do one every Tuesday, brother. So we did do a show without you. You were not here last week in the comments at all, and it felt very lonely without you. I was waiting for you the whole time.
Is that a pumpkin on your cup, Jason?
It could be.
Okay.
Anyways. So yeah.
Finish up your weekend.
We're back. The weekend was great. I went to work yesterday. That sucked. I had today off. I didn't have to do Chase golf lessons, so I just picked him up from school, which let me tell you, Lapeer High School.
Oh.
Their fucking drop-off lanes in the morning is the most horrendous shit that I've ever dealt with in my life. It took me 25 minutes in a line to drop my kid off this morning. I'm going to start leaving the house at 6:30 to get him there by 7:15.
Yeah.
It was fucking ridiculous, and they need to get this shit figured out. But anyways, because he didn't have golf today, I got to start drinking a little bit early, and I ate tacos. I'm in a great mood. And on top of that, I was going to tell you I was wearing my Kansas City gear today. It's because America's Princess and the greatest tight end to ever play the game announced their engagement today. So this is the closest thing we have to American royalty.
August 26th will be the worst day in history.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are officially engaged. I am like a 16-year-old fangirl today, and I'm living it up.
I'm just curious. Shut up about that.
Give me my time.
No,
Eric.
I'm just curious about where. Because I went to Lapeer East High School when it was East. Where do you go to drop your kid off? Because I'm wondering what route you take.
There's only one route they allow you to take now. They set out all these directions. You have to go in the southernmost entrance and then loop around before the hill.
Southernmost entrance.
Yeah, and then loop around.
Everything is towards. Okay, so the last one before it goes to 2 lanes when the turn lane ends, then by the soccer field.
Yep.
Okay.
You pull in right there, and then you loop around right there.
Drop them off at the fucking band side.
They don't allow you to. They won't let them in that side.
Wow. Okay, that's how.
You have to drop them off right there. That's it.
Okay.
It's the only place you can drop them off.
Makes sense.
And traffic was back in the left turn lane past Kyle's apartments.
That's fucking far. Holy
shit. So Yeah, it was almost to the light at the mill.
Yep, that's usually how it goes.
It was fucking stupid, and it was just slow go because everybody was staying in the right lane and then trying to cut in up there. So it was just 2 lanes completely backed up almost to the light.
Yeah, I think they're adding 9th graders now, so there's how many more kids in there? But okay, continue. We're done with that crap. With the Kansas City bullshit.
Back to it.
Jason, how was your weekend? We didn't ask how Jason's weekend is. Shut up. How was your weekend, Jason? I'm going to have to fucking babysit this motherfucker all show.
Oh my God, you guys are off the rails right out of the gate. This is going to be fantastic, I can tell. And I knew that was going to be because earlier this afternoon I went onto Facebook while I was waiting to pick up my girlfriend's son from school, and I had seen that Sports Reel podcast was drinking whiskey with Eric Mendal. I'm like, fuck.
No, who's drinking whiskey? It wasn't me, but I have an idea who it was.
May have just been me.
I can see where this is going. No, it's been a good week, man. I'm in the process. I'm preparing for the MWO reunion this coming weekend, and like all of my ideas, it starts off as one thing, and I'm like, well, what if I did this, and what if I did that, and talking to Samantha about it, she's so creative in her own right, so we're kind of collaborating, and the next thing you know, I'm over here making picture collages, and we're going out to get all the stuff that we need tomorrow for Saturday, and that's kind of where all my focus has been. But I gotta tell you, you go through damn near 30 years worth of pictures and memories, man. It really got me in the feels, so it's going to be a good time. I have no doubt. We got the the kickball game going on also during the reunion. So it's been a good week. It's been a good week. Had a good weekend, spent it here, and she and I got to spend some one-on-one time without kids for a couple of days. So that was nice. So here we are back in the swing of things, and doing the damn thing that we know as the Sports Reel podcast live on the PFC network. And if you want to be a part of the conversation and you are following us on the Facebook feed, there is a link in the live chat. You click on that, it brings you into our waiting room. I hit a button, boom, you're on the show with us. Or you can correspond with us through the live chat if you do not want to be on camera. So with that being said, we have a lot of shit to talk about here this week, gentlemen. Where do we want to start?
We want to start out with the engagement of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Sakes.
We're fucking done with it. We already talked about it. They're engaged. It's fucking great. It's fine.
No, I'm just
fine. I'd rather hear about the fucking Pope than those two fucks. See, right there. There it is.
Jason left, so yeah.
We are fucking 13 minutes in, and you got him to walk out. Great job, Tim. 13 fucking minutes.
I know, but in all seriousness, we have a lot of NFL to talk about, but first and foremost, I want to get to these Tigers because
eat them up, Tigers.
These fuckers are on a roll again.
But they have 79 wins, and the Bruins have 82, so they're
catching them.
But too bad, Scooball gave up a grand slam last night for them to lose it. But hey,
can't be perfect all the time.
You can't, and the Oakland A's are always a team you can't sleep on.
It's not the Oakland A's. It's just the Athletics. They don't have a home. They're homeless.
You don't have a fucking home.
They need somebody to adopt them. I have a home. You're sitting in it right now.
I'm sitting in your basement, not your home. It's part of your home. So
right now, the Tigers are 4.5 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers for the best record in all of Major League Baseball, but the Tigers are on top of the American League, but just by half a game, because the Toronto Blue Jays are also continuing their dominance in their division, and this is a team nobody really saw a whole lot of coming into this season. Let me look at the divisions real quick. The Toronto Blue Jays have a 5-game lead over the Boston Red Sox and a 5.5-game lead over the Yankees in the AL East. Looking at the AL West, the Houston Astros are on top. No big surprise there. A 1.5-game lead over the Seattle Mariners. Now the Mariners, I said this a couple of weeks ago. The Mariners are also not a team to sleep on. And even though the Athletics are at the bottom of the AL West, this is the time of year they start kicking it in for some reason, and they play the role of spoiler. So if I'm anybody in the AL West right now, and even though the numbers are what they are, the Athletics have the potential to play the role of spoiler, and it would not surprise me at all to, by the time we sit down here in 3 weeks' time, the Seattle Mariners and the Astros are going to swap spots, and it's going to be Seattle's division going into the playoffs. That's what I kind of see that playing out like that. The Blue Jays, I'll go ahead and say it, man. They're going to win the AL East. They are on fire right now, and
well,
Boston,
makes sense. They're in Canada and those Canada fires.
True.
I'm just going to say not if the Pope has anything to do with it.
I knew.
By the way, can you highlight Amy's post right there and then highlight
Don't
Dave's
do
post?
it. Don't highlight Amy's post. I already seen it, and we don't need to look at it again. You fucking jackass, Jason. Don't do that. Don't listen to this.
Then move on to Dave's post next.
All you're doing is hyping him up. That's all this is doing. We're never going to stop talking about it. You keep fucking acknowledging it.
No, fuck you, Dave. What are you doing?
Yeah, fuck you, Dave.
I didn't even read it before I highlighted it. Okay, lesson learned. Lesson learned.
Anyways, yeah, I agree with you. I think Toronto's probably going to take that, but I mean, I'm sure the Pope can send some type of voodoo curse at them and stop them from doing that. But
the Mariners are marinating, so they're going to win that division.
Yeah.
Now, realistically, do we think the Tigers are going to be on enough roll to take the lead of the whole MLB again? Like, because they've been pretty hot again.
Well,
I know they gave up one yesterday, didn't they?
They gave up one, but it was a very tight game until that grand slam. And like you said, you're not gonna be perfect all the time. And he's our ace in the hole, and he threw. Well, I did not see how many pitches he threw, but I know he went into like the 7th inning. That's pretty far. Until he was doing great until that grand slam, but I think they'll bounce back today and beat the A's.
Yeah, I think that's a good possibility.
I
what
think
time do they play tonight?
I think they're playing right now.
10:05.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It makes sense. They're out west, even though
That's
the A's have no home. So where are they out west? Are they in Oakland? Are they in Arkansas?
No,
Arkansas is not out west either, but
they're in California. I'm just not sure what city they're playing in. Let me do a Google search on that real quick.
Aren't they playing in some like college stadium?
Sir.
Well, that makes sense why they're getting home runs and grand slams. It's smaller than an MLB stadium.
Yeah.
Horse shit.
It's cheating.
I think the Tigers will take the top team in the league before the postseason. The way they're playing again, and the Brewers are slipping, losing some games.
They are playing at a venue called Sutter Health Park. In
Sacramento.
Sacramento, like a AA park or AAA park or something.
I believe it's a AA park, Tim.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, it's the first time I've actually heard the name. But if you look at any of the video of their home games, it looks like where the Tigers play their spring training games in Lakeland. There's people out in the outfield on blankets and in camping chairs. They do have
wrong with that.
No, certainly not. Especially if you're going to be watching Major League Baseball during the regular season. I think that would be a fantastic venue. But this also does provide them. You got to believe something of an advantage if you can grab a hold of the ball and knock it out of the park. But this is where they're going to be calling home for the next little bit until they get the stadium built in Las Vegas there. So,
of course, Las Vegas.
I know, brother.
Big money market, brother.
I get it.
Dave's got another comment here, and I want to know his source and what
Read
he's
it first.
because he said, "Oh, the Michigan Panthers might not be leaving." I want to know what you've heard, Dave. So fill us in while we're going through this. But also, I also saw that Colorado is the first team to be eliminated from the playoffs.
No, I had no idea.
Well, surprise there. Next
For
week,
real.
the Chicago White Sox will join them.
Oh, yeah. The Guardians are slipping too. They're not playing too good either.
They're not. They'll
start playing good as soon as they play the Tigers in these upcoming series, though. Why?
I don't think so. The Kansas City's beating their ass lately. I think you got to worry about Kansas City right now. I don't think they're going to take the lead, the division from us. But if they get hot towards the end of the season to make it into the playoffs, you got to watch out for them.
Okay.
Always a thorn in our ass.
Let me say this real quick in relation to what Dave had put up there. I just did some research. Following weeks of uncertainty surrounding the future of the Michigan Panthers, including speculation about possible relocation out of the state, the United Football League's new co-owner said Monday that he's trying to find a solution that could keep the Panthers from moving. Mike Rapole, who joined the ownership group of the UFL at the end of July, posted on X on Monday that the Panthers' current venue, Ford Field, is the biggest obstacle for the franchise. We talked about this.
That's what we figured.
And said he is monitoring the situation with Detroit City's FC's new stadium as a possible solution down the road. It is
nice.
a new thing. So
that's what we were guessing.
Yeah, we were not wrong. And we speculated on that, even though there wasn't anything that had said that. But now that this comes from the Detroit News, so it's a reputable source. So if they can find a new venue, I mean, how long is it going to take to get this new venue up and running? At least a year, right? So couldn't you find another football field somewhere within the vicinity of Detroit, even if it's like Detroit Mercy or something like this, to host the home games? Well, they only have 4 or 5 home games. It can't be that goddamn hard. But it is a Ford Field thing. So crazy.
Yeah, Dave brought up a point there. They might as well use the field at Eastern Michigan University for the year. That's a possibility. I'm wondering if they're skeptical about an outdoor stadium for spring ball, because they start pretty early. Not that it makes that big of a difference, because NFL plays in the snow, so why shouldn't they? But it gets pretty fucking grody in the spring with all the fucking, it'd be the mud bowl.
Rain, a lot.
It'd be the straight up mud bowl. You know what I mean? So you'd have to find almost something with a synthetic field that's outdoor if you were going to play that route. And then that would kind of suck if that synthetic field freezes. But yeah, I think we were right on the money with being the holdup, is with Ford Field. And I kind of understand it because we brought it up. I think it's a money thing because they can pack that stadium on those weekends with concerts that are going to bring in a hell of a lot more money. But at the same time, we had discussed how the fan viewership and people actually buying tickets and going to the Panthers actually increased this past season. So give it some time, let it grow. No, because the new stadium in 2027 in Michigan's will be outdoors. Okay, so that doesn't even fucking matter. So they just need to find some place to play, and there's lots of college stadiums down there that you could possibly put put your games on at. That's where a lot of the other teams play at. They play at college stadiums. I think St. Louis plays at the old where the Rams used to play when they're in St. Louis, don't they? So yeah, I mean, there's possibilities. We don't have one of those laying around because they tore the Silver Dome down. Otherwise, that would have been a great place for them.
That would have been a great place.
Yeah,
or the Palace, and they kept the Palace.
Yeah,
I really appreciate the fact that there's ownership within the UFL that is committed, seemingly, to keeping the Panthers in Michigan. I think it's a great, great, great sign of hope for this franchise, because the Panthers, as we documented, were in the UFL championship game a couple of months ago.
They're one of the top dogs. How are you going to get rid of a team that's a top dog that has great? They're starting to get a fan base. They're starting to get more players that want to come here because they're making it to the championship.
Right.
Why would you want to get rid of that? You move them, then what? But people are going to want to go there. You have to start all over again.
All over again.
Exactly.
And where are they going to relocate? Is it going to be a strong football market? Like, you got to.
They go to Chicago. Fuck Chicago.
the Michigan Panthers is one of the most storied franchises in that lower echelon of professional football. That's not the NFL.
Right.
You can date the Panthers back to the early 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's there is an appetite for the Michigan Panthers here. So to see that part of the new ownership of the UFL is dialed into this, it's a good sign. So hopefully they can work something out. That would be amazing. So,
God, there's some of those high school stadiums down in the city too that could hold them, to be honest, because they got some big ass high school stadiums.
They do. But back to the Tigers. We got sidetracked with the
We always
Michigan
get
Panthers.
sidetracked. That's the great thing about this show is it's nothing but a bunch of sidebars. What did Dave say?
Sidebars?
Even the dude from Wham who wasn't George Michaels loves the Michigan Panthers. Love Dave. Anyway, so yeah, Tigers. Dude, I'm really getting hyped about this team and the chances this year. The bats are starting to come alive again. I've even seen Riley Green stepping up again a little bit, picking shit up.
He'll find his rhythm again.
Yeah, he had it at the beginning of the season. He lost it a little bit after the All-Star break, and it seems like he's starting to swing the bat a little bit better.
A little bit. Everyone lost it after this All-Star break.
Yeah, that shit happens. But the chance there, I still worry that getting hot right now, and we've discussed this in previous weeks, getting hot right now, and then if they get, and Eric brought this up last week, if they end up getting, that first round seed and they have to take a little break, because they take a little break too, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to cool them off again, kind of like after the All-Star break?
Well, look what, don't want to bring it up. Look what happened last year.
I know.
What if the Lions lost to the Vikings and got that 5th seed and kept playing, and then they were the underdogs and maybe they made that run. They wouldn't have had to go through. They wouldn't have played Washington at least first. They would have played them later on.
Jason looks so pissed right now.
No, he's looking something up.
I'm looking to see what's ahead for the Tigers. I mean, I know we talked about this.
They already dropped the 2026 schedule, so you can look at that if you want to. They opened the season against San Diego. I've seen that.
No shit.
Yep.
I know we have 2 series coming up against the Indians / Guardians.
The Indian Guards.
They have the Royals in Kansas City starting Friday. And then, we're already into September next week. Yeah. Then Monday, they're home for a 3-game set with the New York Mets. They get Thursday off, and then a weekend series at home against the White Sox. Now, God damn it, we have said the White Sox wait until they're playing the Tigers to start actually playing professional baseball. But then you look at the week beyond that, gentlemen. They've got the Yankees in New York and then Miami. So
the Yankees will be tough. The Yankees will be tough. Miami, I'm not too worried about.
And then
the Miami Marlins or whatever.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
they're not a bad team though. So those will be 2 tough series. Those will be 2 tough series after 2 easy series. Which they should win both series. What they probably will. I could see them losing 1 to the White Sox because you know how the White Sox are, and I can see them sweeping the Mets. In Kansas City, they might split. Is it a 3-game or 4-game series?
3.
You got to win that series. Yeah, you got to go in there twice and take 2 and leave. If you lose 1, you lose 1, but you got to go in there and at least take 2.
Now, by the numbers, the Royals are 10.5 games behind Detroit right now.
Yeah, that would be that's a big gap to shut or close in on. And I don't think that's going to happen.
No,
the Royals would have to every divisional game have to win. So they'd have to sweep the Tigers. They'd have to sweep whoever they play next, and the Tigers would have to lose everyone.
We just mentioned how Cleveland is on the skids. They are in the midst of a 6-game losing streak right now, whereas the White Sox are on a 3-game winning streak. It may be their longest win streak of the season. Where's Tim? But Tim.
First potty break for Timothy.
No, he thought he was going to be funny and put another Wham reference in there, then take off before I can cut a promo on him. Dickhead. The Tigers are in a good spot right now.
They're in a very good spot. They're in a very good spot.
But if anybody is sitting here thinking that they're just going to coast their way into the postseason from here, you're sorely mistaken.
No, they got to play tough, and I was listening to 97.1 The Tick and all that, and they were talking about, should they bring up a pitcher or two and get a 6-man rotation going on? I'm like, if you got a pitcher down the minor leagues that's pitching hot, no reason not to bring him up for a 6-man rotation.
No,
give Scooball a little bit longer break. Give your starters a little bit longer break, and you're trying to make a run because this is since 2012. This is the best you guys have started out and have been playing.
And when you compare the two teams, you look at the star power that we had in 2012. We had a lot. A lot. That team was built to win the World Series, and they completely shit the bed when they got there. Getting swept by the San Francisco Giants. I mean, we had Prince Miller, we had Cabrera, we had Martinez. I mean, it was stacked from top to bottom. Now,
I think our 06 team was stacked more than that, and they got swept by the Cardinals.
Well, they won one in 06.
They won one game. Okay, yeah, they did win one game, but they got their asses handed to them. They did not play well at all.
No.
After that grand slam by God, what's his name? Ordonez.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
After that grand slam against the A's to send us to the World Series, you thought you had all the momentum, and we should have. We should have beat the shit out of St. Louis. We did not.
No. And they were the favorite going in there.
They 100% were. They 100%. They should have won that, but St. Louis had the tag of the underdog, and they took advantage of it. They
certainly did. Yeah. But Eric, you're absolutely right. We're looking at this team now, and we could go back and look at what they were doing last season when they came into the month of August last year.
There was started killing it.
Yeah, they had virtually no chance of making it to the postseason. And then, man, they caught lightning in a bottle and rode that bitch for as long as they could.
Until the All-Star break of this year. That's what happened. Until the All-Star break of this year, they had that momentum going, and then they got that break, and it killed them. They kept that momentum from last year into this year, and then that All-Star break hit, and that killed them. And I think they might have got a little bit of big head on their shoulders because they had, 6 All-Stars in the game?
Mm-hmm.
Or the All-Star game or whatever.
They fed into their own hype.
Yeah. You should have stayed humble and remembered who you are. You guys are young kids. You guys are just out there playing ball and having fun, and shit happens. I starting off as one of the hottest teams in the MLB and being 22, 23 years old. Yeah, you're going to get a little bit of a big head, but you got to remember at the end of the day, the job ain't done. That trophy is not in your hand until the end of October.
Oh yeah. Going into the early part of November.
Yep. Yeah. The World Series is in the early part of November, end of October.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the way, Dave, the answer is New York. Just because they have linemen.
Jitterbug. What? You sons of bitches, man. You guys are on one today.
Tim, you just realized this? We're 33 minutes in. You just realized this, Jason?
Well, now I feel like
13 minutes. You threw your 13 minutes. You threw your headset off. That's how long it took. It didn't take long. We were on here for 2 hours. This is going to be a very good long show.
And Pepper has joined us for this show.
Pepper did join us, and I'm just saying. Pepper told me when I walked in the door that she hates Kansas City. So that's all I'm saying.
Oh, by the way, when I was upstairs, Amy filled me in on some breaking news. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are getting married.
I hope they get divorced. Fucking keep bringing it up. I'm going to go that route, motherfucker. I think the Tigers just need to Just play baseball. Just
Yeah.
play baseball. Don't think about the World Series. Don't think about that. Think about the game ahead of you. Think about what's in front of you right then, and I think you can make a serious deep run at the World Series. And you will shock the world if the Tigers win it, because no one would ever put any money on them to win it, or even consider them to be a team to win it.
To be honest, I think last year they would have shocked the world if they would have won the World Series.
Fair enough.
This year's a little bit more. Actually, they've been leading, if not the MLB, for most the American season, League for the majority of the season. They're actually, I think, the favorite to win the World Series this year. Betting favorite. So
I think LA's still the favorite.
My God, did he see a spider? He's looking up the thing to see who's actually favored to win it this year. I know Tigers are up there really high.
They are. They're like number 2 or number 3. Trust me, I thought about throwing a couple $100 at it, but I'm like, I'm not doing that.
You're gonna throw a couple $100 on the Lions this year?
I've thought about it. Right, today is the day to. If you're gonna bet anything, this is a day to bet on football, because FanDuel has a special promo going on. I made a couple bets today. Pepper told me.
Series odds. Dodgers, Brewers, Phillies, Tigers.
Yep, so they're top 5.
Then Seattle, Toronto, Yankees, Padres.
I can't believe the Yankees are that far down. Wow. I thought they'd be up higher.
Happy, but I can't believe
LA is still a very tough team, and that's probably who they're going to have to go through.
I would say so. Yeah. LA is, I don't know, man. If Milwaukee can maintain what they're doing,
oh yeah, they'll be hard to go through. They will definitely be hard to go through.
It would not surprise me if we saw a Milwaukee, LA, NLCS.
But will Milwaukee get cold if they get the first round bye? Like they probably will.
That's what I worry about the Tigers.
So I feel like Milwaukee needs to stay hot, so the Tigers don't get a bye and they just keep playing ball. Just keep playing, keep that train rolling.
They'd be different anyways, because Tigers have the AL. Milwaukee's not going to stop them because they're National League, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
No, but isn't only the first.
Well, you get the first seed from both conferences.
Yeah, they both get okay.
Same as football. So right now, as of today, if the playoffs started tomorrow, the Tigers would get the bye.
And that's what we're worried about.
And it might just be because we're having a little bit of, fucking flashbacks from the Lions last year going, I wish we didn't get the bye. Even though the bye is sometimes nice. And the same thing, I had flashbacks Kansas City last year. Wish they didn't get the bye, even though they get it almost every fucking year. Because they went on to lose the Super Bowl.
The Eagles were too tough. Eagles were too tough that year.
Kansas City didn't have any fucking receivers.
Like had DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah,
he's old. But that's still DeAndre Hopkins.
Fucking years old.
Okay, yeah, okay.
He had gray dreadlocks coming out of his helmet. Like the guy's old as balls.
Well, I'd probably have gray in my hair too if I played in the NFL.
I have a ton of gray in my fucking hair, so I can't talk shit. It's mostly just turning white. If you can't see in the camera right now, most of my beard is turning gray. It makes me look distinguished. At least that's what my wife tells me to make me feel better about it. Because I was going to do the Just for Men. She told me no. She said it was.
Why would you do that? I will say you look wiser because you have gray in your beard.
I'm fooling people then.
Yeah, we already know. Look what you have on.
Dave's grandson is selling those little Caesar's pizza kits for his football team. If anybody needs them, contact Dave Melbourne.
Melbourne of the Dave selling pizza kits for his kid. Buy them. And also follow the Sports Reel podcast. Help us out.
I'm always good to buy a couple of them things.
I have some pretty damn good cookies. I'll say that.
Yeah. I just hate the way the shit is set up monetarily. I kind of went on a promo about it last year, but I do see where it does some good. I know we're getting off on a sidebar. But, Dave, I'll get with you. I'll order one of them sons of bitches. Yeah.
All right, so pretty much Tigers just keep playing. They're probably going to get a first-round bye. Kind of nervous about that, but we'll see what happens. Enough of baseball.
Well, I feel like I missed a lot while I was on a potty break. What did you guys talk about?
how much of an asshole you can be to me.
Yeah, that too. That too.
I have never been an asshole to you, Jason. I've been nothing but a gentleman.
Yeah, I'm going up and I'm looking at these comments, and I think intro should be a Wham song, and then you bolt before I read it.
He didn't do that. He didn't do that.
No, we're really.
I mean, that's a legitimate thing. Like maybe I'm trying to think of something because right now 90% of the people that view our shit do not follow us. So please hit the follow.
All you gotta do is hit the follow.
Maybe it'll take the Wham song to get those people to get it because we've been getting.
Here we go again.
Yeah, it's not going to be a Wham song. Sorry. That was just to give Jason a hard time. And Jason, I apologize for being an asshole. I shouldn't be that way.
What?
Now I'm sad.
Listen.
You need to drink more. Your personality comes out. That's a good thing.
If it equates to a couple thousand more followers to the page,
we'll wham it up, motherfuckers.
I will wham it up. I'll just mute my shit so I don't have to listen to it. Okay,
and
that's
here
I'll take the hit.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out because I've been looking at it. I'm going to tell you guys right now, and I know you guys don't follow it, but my golf shit has been getting the most feedback
Who says
and
don't
the
follow
most
it?
hits off of. You don't follow golf.
Oh, don't follow golf. No,
Yeah,
I follow what you
I know
post.
you guys don't follow, yeah, you guys follow that. That shit's been good. And I want to give a shout out to all of the people in the UK that have been checking out our shit because 25% of everything that have been put out has been viewed from the UK. So give a shout out to those guys. It's actually been viewed all over the world. I mean, we've had people from fucking Malaysia, of all places, viewing our shit.
I don't even know where the fuck that's at.
I couldn't point it out on the map, but they're viewing it, and I respect it. If you're watching it, thanks for being a fan. Just hit the like button and follow us because that helps us out tremendously.
No seriousness, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing, and we're getting more views on the YouTube channel, and we got a couple of comments from the YouTube feed too. So it is starting to go across the different platforms, and I really do. And I know we're sitting here, ribbing one another, but it does mean a lot, and it makes us know, damn, we're doing something pretty cool here, and this is by far the most viewed show on the PFC network right now, and that's saying something. So I really do appreciate that.
You're welcome. Just because I'm here now.
Eric, it must be. It really must be. Yeah, 100%.
Nah, you guys built the platform. I'm just helping to build it up. That's all we're here to do. But we got to talk about some NFL motherfucking football because the preseason is over and the regular season starting in 2 weeks.
Yeah, yes, we do. And we're getting right into the NFL right now. But before we get fully into the NFL, I want to bring up.
Don't bring up fucking Travis Kelce and goddamn Taylor Swift.
I mean, you just brought it up, so thank you.
I was just gonna fucking tell you to stop.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Shut up and say what you're gonna say.
I want to talk about next week's show, Tuesday, September 2nd. We're going to be doing a full NFL show next week. And on top of that, we're going to have Isaac Valenti joining us from the Fun Football podcast. I will be making a post on the Sportsville page, putting out all his links and shit like that so you can follow his page. But he'll be joining us next week, and I'll bring that up later in this show. So we'll be pushing that pretty hard this whole week coming up because next week's going to be an all NFL show. I think Devin Garcia, who has joined us before, possibly might be joining us that day. It should be a good thing. Maybe we can get Jason to join us live here in the studio so we can get us all on camera at one time. That would be kind of neat. If that would be a possibility, I'll have to talk to him off camera on that. But I figured if I put it out here right now, it might pressure him into it. And also Dan Campbell out in the universe.
I knew he was going to fucking say it. I knew he was going to say it. I was waiting for
on this podcast.
I was waiting for it. But you also said Devin's name wrong. You didn't say his full name.
What's his full name?
Devin bitch ass Garcia.
Okay, rock.
I put that bitch ass part in there.
Sean just put a. Can you highlight Sean's?
No, I can't.
No, thank God. Don't fucking highlight that bullshit.
And
where's Chad at? Chad was liking all our stuff like today, and now he's not even here. Fuck you, Chad.
And thank you for filling me in there, Dave, on what they were doing while I was on a potty break. They were talking about hosting a Wham dance party. So
we definitely were not. We're talking about the 06 Tigers and the 2012 Tigers and what team was better and all that. And I think it's the 06. Jason thinks it's the 12, but we're done with baseball. You got your point in. Now we're jumping right into football.
Dude, I was in football. I was plugging our NFL show for next week.
You were kind of not 100%, but
I'm going to plug that a
fucking
few
Wham.
times in here. No, Sean brought up Wham.
On the show, 2 straight hours, the NFL season preview, and we're with a variety of special guests. I think that's really cool, and it's going to add a different dynamic. I'm not making any promises, but let me see what I can do about getting over there for the show.
Rock on.
He'll be over here.
I will
make it fucking happen.
I will do what I can.
But so Tim, you probably watch more preseason football than me and Jason have last week.
Watch the majority of the Lions game this week. I didn't catch all of it just because I was at work, so I was kind of like fucking working on cars, and I had it on my phone, but I listened to the majority.
At least you had cars to work on. I didn't have fucking shit to work on last week. I left at 3:00, and I was the only alignment tech there. I said, "Fuck this, I'm going home."
But anyways, so the one big thing out of this preseason game that came out of it is
Isaiah Tesla.
Yeah, Isaac Tesla.
Same
Isaac
thing.
Tesla, that kid is a stud.
Wide receiver number 3, baby.
Yeah, he's wide receiver number 3. Probably, next to Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'd put him as probably going to turn out to be the second best pick out of the 3rd round for the Lions.
Amon-Ra wasn't in the 3rd round.
I thought Amon-Ra was 3rd or 4th. I thought he was late 3rd.
He
was 4th. Okay, I thought he was late 3rd. Either way, still 3rd round pick, absolute steal. That kid's a stud. The way that he can go up and get a ball, he kind of reminds me of Megatron a little bit in a way. You know what I mean? The way that he can bridge that gap between those DBs, or he can just go up over and catch the ball over those DBs. The kid's lightning in a bottle, and I can't wait to see. And actually,
not gonna lie to you,
excited about him.
I had to fact check myself. He was the 4th round.
Okay.
I was like, I talked so much. I was
knew it was either
95% confident. I'm like, I need to.
I know it was either late 3rd or 4th. I couldn't remember.
He was a 4th,
exactly.
yes.
But the way, the excitement around this kid, I was so excited about him that I actually, as a, reach out there and grab a fucking pick in my fantasy league this week in the draft, I actually took Isaac Tesla at the end of my draft, just hoping that maybe he turns into something this year. But I really do think that he will. And on top of that, the other big standout, besides it's Meeks something. Is it Justin Meeks? Something Meeks. He looked really good. Unfortunately, we'll get into him in a minute. But Kyle Allen came out there and pretty much just said, I'm QB number 2.
He didn't really have much competition to deal with. And
no, but he looked good. You look at his stats from that game. Can you bring up Kyle Allen's stats from Saturday's game there, Jason? Because he looked really good.
He didn't play that much.
He played a lot of that game. He played almost the whole entire first half.
Okay.
They didn't put Hendon Hooker until later, and then that's when all hell broke loose and they end up losing that game. But Kyle Allen was on a roll. His stats from the preseason alone were really good besides the first game.
Yeah.
He threw a couple picks in that first game, and then, and that could have just been, new team, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was with Buffalo last year.
Could be. So he learned under Josh Allen.
Yeah, it was Josh Allen and Kyle Allen last year in Buffalo.
Love Josh Allen.
I love Josh Allen too. Great quarterback.
Way better than Mahomes.
Fuck you. But who should I name as my top pick for my fantasy draft? That would be Tim Sheridan.
Do you need an actual good name for your fantasy team?
I don't even know what our fantasy team's name is.
Well, you need a name. I'll give you some names, and I'll let you pick them.
My team.
Yeah, your actual team.
I'm Bobby Boucher.
Oh man,
you can't beat that.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. I even have the little picture about
Neighbors think I'm selling dope. Malik Neighbors, right there. That's way better than fucking Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher. Anyways, what the fuck was I talking about? Kyle Allen. Yes, Kyle Allen. Jason's pulling up his stats right now.
Yes, he is. He earned quarterback number 2 for the Detroit Lions. 100%.
He definitely earned
I would feel confident if something happened to Jared Goff and he had to take the realms for a day or a game or two. Pardon me. and actually lead the team. I think he could lead us to a W. Granted,
I think so too.
I think the most of the offense would be handing the ball off, and that's not hard to do.
I don't even know about that because honestly, the throws that he was throwing, he was looking pretty good, and he was doing it behind.
He dropped that bomb to fucking Isaiah Tesla.
Yeah, he dropped it right over the top, and that's the one thing I got to give Tesla because I was watching that, and it totally looked like it was going to be overthrown.
He's like
but
6'4".
Tesla, Tesla went out there and he fucking got it, and that kid is going to be a fucking stud. He's going
to be the second deep threat we need.
Yeah.
Because in reality, he's going to be a deep threat we need because Jameson Williams has the speed, but he has the height. So it's like you can get Williams into way more situations where he can, go in the slot and, run across the field because he has that speed to get away from everybody.
Yeah.
Isaiah Tesla's, he's fast, but if you just throw it up to him, he's going to come down with it.
Yeah, and that's why he reminds me of Megatron. Because he can go up and get it. He's not, he's.
I like that you're comparing him, but
I'm comparing him off the way that he's playing. Is he Megatron? No.
No one will ever be Megatron.
Nobody will ever be Megatron. But the way that he plays and the way that he can go up and over, you know what I mean? It reminds me of Kelvin Johnson. The way that he can go up.
Well, who also reminded me of Calvin Johnson back in the day was Kenny Galladay, and look where that went.
Yeah, he did great with us, but as soon as he got traded, he went to shit.
Yeah.
But you can say the same for quite a few people. Marvin Jones didn't do that great once he left us. Golden Tate shit the bed once he left us, and he
also had a Super Bowl ring before he came to us. So
yeah, but once he left us, he was
a solid number 2 receiver. He wasn't the number 2.
Receiver.
He wasn't the number 2 like here because you had fucking Megatron. Everyone was worried about him. So yeah, you left Golden Tate wide open.
And that's the same thing we're going to run into this year because, and honestly, I think by the time it's done, probably about halfway through the season, I really do think Tesla will be our number 3. And Tim Patrick is not going to get a lot of playing time.
It's going to be pick your poison because you're going to have St. Brown, Williams, Tesla or Patrick, and then you're going to have Gibbs out of the backfield, Montgomery out of the backfield. You're going to have so many Reynolds out of the backfield. You're going to have so many weapons that you can't cover. Just like how Ben Johnson said, this offense is just ready to run. And it's a well-oiled machine, and that's what it's going to be. So everyone worried about these new fucking coordinators. It's like, no, relax. Fucking, it's just going to be, it's taken over something that's already been built. Ben Johnson built a great foundation for this offense. Same with Dan Campbell. And it's just like some of the players, Barnes is saying how the defensive coordinator now is more aggressive than Aaron Glenn. I'm like, how can you get more aggressive than Aaron Glenn? So I'm very curious about that. I just think people are freaking out about these coordinators. It's like, you need to relax. They've been here for the process of building it up, and they're here. Every time they've had to plug someone in, look what's happened. They made it to the playoffs last year in a 15-2 record. And how many injuries did we have? We had 22 at the end of the season. I think
23.
23,
which
and they still
pretty
made
much our entire first
they were
team
pulling
and second
guys.
Team defense.
Yeah, they were pulling guys off the road. Like, hey, you want to come play? Yeah, you can play. Come play. And they made it happen, and it was just that good of a process that made the Lions go that far. So if they can stay healthy, if they were healthy back in last year, we would have beat the Eagles. We would have beat the Kansas City Chiefs. We would be Super Bowl champs last year. Period. If we did not get so many players hurt, we would have ran over Washington. We would have had a great battle against Philly, 100% a great battle against Philly, but I think we could have beat them. And then we already have, you're not going to like it. We have Kansas City's number. Oh, yeah. I think we could have beat them.
Dude, okay. So I want to put this out there right now because I know
Campbell.
Jason has pulled up this thing. Yes, I'll put Dan Campbell out in the universe again, but Jason has probably pulled up the stats from this past weekend. But I want to put this out right now. I might be wearing all Kansas City gear right now. That's my number 2 team. My number 1 team will always be the Lions.
That's his number 2 team because they're shit.
I'm only wearing this. I mean, I wear Kansas City. It's not the first time you've seen it on the show, but one, because of the announcement today.
But
what was that announcement, Eric?
That Kansas City is your number 2 team because they're shit. So
why am I wearing Kansas City gear today?
Because they're shit.
Every day at the Sheridan house. Kyle Allen completed all 5 of his passes for 66 yards and a touchdown, a 33-yard TD pass to Isaac Tesla.
And then his preseason stats were like 500 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I pay attention to that shit.
Day here, this is according to CBS Sports. He has, for all intents and purposes, locked down the number 2 spot.
Well, they released Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, he's definitely the number.
He's
two.
gone. He's gone. Hendon Hooker's gone. Very, very sad that Dan Skipper's gone.
But I'm hearing rumors that he might have been re-signed to the practice squad.
He probably is. So yeah, that's a smart move to do.
Which I want to put out there right now before we get into this. Everybody's freaking out about the fact that Dan Skipper got released.
You have to understand that.
Hold on. Let me finish this. If you look back at Dan Skipper's history, there's only about 1 year that he's played with the Lions that he has not been released in late August, and that was last year. Every other year he's been released and then re-signed to the practice squad and then pulled back up into the thing. Eric, now you can finish what you were going to say.
People have to understand that, like back in the day, the Lions, like when we were releasing players, they were looking for a normal 9-to-5 job. Now that when we release players, other teams are like, oh, we can go get that guy. We already know he can play. We are one of the top teams. It's like, you're going to be cutting pretty good players, unfortunately, because you have so many. They built up this roster so well that you're going to be releasing good players.
Which we did. We released
and it sucks because you're like, damn, that guy's actually really fucking good. But it's like you got to make a roster spot for other ones.
Yeah, we can start getting into the releases now. Obviously, you brought up Hendon Hooker, Dan Skipper. Rumors he's got re-signed to the practice squad.
I could see that.
He's got some veteran fucking thing where he doesn't have to go. He can't be claimed off waivers. He's going to go right to. He'll be re-signed to the practice squad, and I guarantee almost by week 2. There's something with the NFL here where if you have players that are injured, but you need them on the roster, you have to sign them to the roster, and then you can put them on, the injury reserve list, the IR after that, and then you can bring players up off the practice squad to play. So that's probably a Dan Skipper situation. But we let Meeks go. Meeks was a stud in the preseason also at wide receiver. He's probably not going to make it through the process, and he's probably going to be claimed by another team before we can get him on the practice squad.
Oh yeah.
Because and that's a good thing to me because we have so much depth at receiver that we can let solid players go. Like we have to let them go because we have so much depth at that position that you have to let these solid players walk. And that's the same thing. Like when people are talking about letting Dan Skipper go, and let's not pretend like Dan Skipper was a fucking stud of a lineman.
He wasn't, but he was solid.
Yeah, he came in when we were running strong packages, and he was a backup lineman.
And caught the ball a couple times.
Yeah, he's great at what he does. He's not a full-time lineman. And he's still going to be a part of this team either way that we look at it. But to let him go also tells me that somebody, probably that Manu guy, probably really impressed those guys, during the preseason where they were able to probably keep him on the team. By this point in time, Jason, we should know exactly. Yeah, can you take her upstairs with you? By this point in time, they had till 4:00 to get the team down to 53. So we should be able to look up here to see exactly what all the cuts were to get to that 53. You have it up here already?
NFL.com has updated their team-by-team roster cuts for 2025. Now, before I get into this list, one headline that just came across from another news site is there's speculation that they made some of these roster cuts to make room for the return of Zadarius Smith. Have you heard about this?
No, but I've been talking about this for months. Right. I really think, and that could be the situation where they got like Broderick Martin. That might have been that cut because we took him in the 3rd round in 2023 along with Hendon Hooker. And got rid of him. Did he amount to much? No, but he's also a defensive tackle. Is he an edge rusher? No, but you need to with drafting Tylee Williams this year, that tackle position is pretty solid now, especially with Ali McNeil coming back, and we still have Pascal. We're really deep on that defensive line right now, but I think Zadarius Smith, and that excites me because there's a lot of rumors there. People are saying by at least week 2, maybe, we could see that there. I saw that Brad Holmes opened up about $48 million in cap space. We need that regardless because we have to re-sign some players this coming year, the biggest one being Hutch. And I imagine that's going to come within the first few games of the season that we're going to re-sign him. But getting Zadarius Smith back, if that happens, and the reason why we're letting some of these players go, especially Broderick Martin, letting him go to open up a spot for that would be amazing. And I've been calling that for months.
Yeah, I figured you would that would resonate with you because for that very reason, you've been sitting here saying that for the last little bit here on the show. So when that headline just came across as I was pulling up the list of the roster cuts, I was like, oh, well, goddamn, this makes all the sense in the world. You combine that to what we had said earlier about the Panthers and their future in the UFL. This is why people need to tune into the show. We're not just a bunch of fanboys here. We actually know what the fuck we're talking about. And, in terms of football, you guys are as dialed in as anybody that I listen to or read about, So that's why you need to hit the subscribe button to the Sports Reel podcast. Just throwing that out there. But
especially if you love Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, you'll hear all the updates about that now.
I don't even have to bring it up now. He's just doing it for me. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah. Can't get over that fucking shitty ass red you got on your hat. Yeah, fuck you.
I'm telling you, it won't be the last time you see it.
So what do you think about no, we talked about Lions. We got to talk about the cuts.
Well, hold on. We're about to get into the cuts. Jason's got the whole list up right now.
Oh, okay.
So.
I was going to go into a different route, but okay.
Do you want me to run down the list here
Run down the list. Go for it.
Yeah, and we might stop you mid-list, so keep track.
Yeah, I'll start yelling at Tim or something. You'll hear it.
All right. Quarterback Hendon Hooker, obviously. Running back Deion Jackson and Jacob Sailors. Wide receivers Ronnie Bell, Tom Kennedy, Jacoby Keeney James, Jackson Meeks, Malik Taylor. Tight ends Zach Horton, Gunnar Oaks, Steven Stellanos. Offensive linemen Gunnar Britton, Tristan Colon, Zach Johnson, Natani Mutai. Look, if I butcher these names, I'm sorry. Mason Miller, Michael Neese, Dan Skipper, Keaton Sutherland, Miles Adams, Keith Cooper Jr., Broderick Martin. Linebackers Mitchell Agude, Deron Gilbert, Ahmad Hassani.
Hold on, that's where I'm going to stop you. That one right there, because it's Hassan. That kid was a stud in his first couple of games, but he got injured. And there's something, I was reading up on it, and I can't remember exactly. There's something with his release because he got injured that I don't think this is the end of him with the Lions.
Is that the one that went to the hospital?
No, that was Maurice Norris. They released him today also, but Hassan, he looks like an absolute stud, and I don't think that's going to be the end that we see with him. He got released because he's injured at this point in time. Obviously, nobody's probably going to grab an injured player off of waivers. So I think his time in Detroit is not done. It just makes room for a 53-man roster is what that one is.
Makes sense. But continue, Jason.
Alrighty. Also, linebackers Nate Lynn, Anthony Pittman, Isaac Ukwu, cornerback Luke Barku, DiCaprio Boodle, Alan George, DJ Miller, Tyson Russell, Nick Whiteside, and then safeties Eric Hallett, Ian Kennelly, Maurice Norris, Lauren Strickland. And that's all they have here right now.
My biggest surprises off that list were obviously, I mean, I'm not surprised by Dan Skipper. It seems like the internet's surprised by him. But, I mean, you look back at his history, that's the number one calling card. There's been 1 year that he hasn't been released in August.
But how much of the fans of now the Detroit Lions have paid attention to the history?
No, nobody. They're just.
I'm pretty sure me and you can be a part of that 1% that was a fan in 2008 when they went 0-16.
Probably. Hassan, great player. I don't think that's his end. Whiteside's another one that kind of surprised me. He was playing really good. He's been playing really good, but that shows us our depth now. I mean, these guys have to fight for a spot on this
like
team.
I said,
Deep.
you're releasing good players now. You're not just releasing scrubs that are like, okay, hey, you're done. Like you're not you probably go look for a 9-to-5 job. You know, like now we're releasing good players where, you know, the Titans might sign them.
What's gonna
Cincinnati needs a defense. They might sign some of our defensive players.
You know who's gonna fucking sign them? Is gonna irk me. Chicago.
Well, yeah, they already mentioned that. Jason left us, but they already mentioned that.
We brought up Chicago.
Dan Skipper has a good relationship with Ben Johnson.
Skipper's not going anywhere, bro. There's already rumors out there that, and I was seeing them online. I was going to post something, but I didn't 100% know if it was true yet or not. And I try to I don't try to post all the bullshit on our page. So if you follow our page, we try to make sure that it's legit and from a reputable source. Before
I usually follow Yahoo and the NFL. Yeah, like Yahoo's been very good. Yahoo's really good about that.
Shout outs. I also follow Ian Rappaport.
Yep. Adam Scheffler. We follow the top dogs, so we give you the best information on the sports world.
Yeah. So as soon as we see that that's 100% that he's been re-signed to the practice squad,
we will let you know.
Yeah, we'll let you know. But right now, I don't see Dan Skipper going to.
Also, Colin something. I can't remember that one dude. The guy, Colin something.
Did Jason say his name?
No, he didn't. He's a guy that is very good about his predictions in the NFL. And
that guy. Yeah, I know.
You know who we're talking.
Okay,
yeah. I follow him a lot. He's very good. He's very spot on to his stuff. And
but
Jason had an emergency poop he had to handle or something. Who knows?
Joe Boone, the refill.
Okay. He needs more coffee.
He's got
all this bullshit. Fucking Tim's talking.
Talking bullshit. We're talking Lions. That ain't bullshit, son.
It's all the bullshit you got on your head.
Hey, you're gonna see. This isn't the last time you're gonna see this shit throughout this season. Because I do love me some Kansas City Chiefs.
Gay.
But anyways, I forget. Like, here's the problem. When we do these shows and I
drink too much,
sometimes I lose track of where the fuck I'm at.
You're not an alcoholic like me.
But I'm going to try to behave because I do have to work tomorrow, and tomorrow is a school day. So I have to wake up super early.
What is super early?
Like 6, because I got to get Chase out the door by like 6:50 to drop off at school.
I'm up at 5:15.
I want to hear your shit.
Yeah, exactly. Super early. 6 o'clock.
I'm also 10 years older than you, and shit hurts.
But who says my shit don't hurt? I'm just not a bitch.
I remember what it felt like at fucking 32. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. You just made Jason spit coffee everywhere. Damn it.
Oh, fucking close.
Fucking close. Where the fuck was I? Lions. This motherfucker's dying right now.
Oh, he wasn't ready for that. He's not worked in a shop like we do, and it's all shit talking all the time.
Listen,
I was going to hit a button, but I didn't know what button to hit. Damn it!
You need more buttons.
Oh shit! That got me.
The Lions cut good players. Other teams are going to sign the ones that we do not re-sign, and they're going to be actually competing for a starting spot there. Like I could see some going to Cincy because they need a defense. I could see some going to Tennessee because they need a team, and they're going to go to those places. That's what's going to happen. They're going to go to the teams that are struggling, and they're going to make the team because they know they were a part of the process. And since Dan Campbell came here, he's changed the culture. Him and Brad Holmes and Sheila Ford, they have changed everything about that culture, and they have given Detroit the hope we needed. Because I remember being a younger kid, like talking how the Lions are doing good. Lions are like, oh yeah, you're young, you haven't learned yet. And I'm like, okay, I get it. So like, I don't get too. I try not to get too excited for it because you have been let down in the past, but the culture is different there for sure.
We talked about this last week.
Yep, it's complete. It's a winning mentality. We're going to do what we need to do to get to the Super Bowl. That's what they want to do. They want to bring a Lombardi Trophy to the city of Detroit, and I can see what's going to happen in next couple years. If not this year, I think it could be this year. I think they could be. Everyone's labeling them as the underdog, and what happened when they were labeled as the underdog 2 years ago? They made it to the NFC Championship game. I can see that happening again. And the sad part is I can see it being against the 49ers again because they have the easiest schedule. So I can see the 49ers making it to there too.
Jason's brewing something here. I can see it.
He's kind of fuzzy. How the fuck can you see it?
Everything's fuzzy to me right now, bro. It just looks clear.
I was going to say
Jesus.
I was going to say the same thing. Like,
You
man,
need to start hanging out with me on the weekends and drink more beer so you ain't fucking this tipsy.
everything is going to be a little fuzzy around the edges right now. Here's my question. You talk about what the could be's are, right? What the Detroit Lions. And 2 years ago, they were the ultimate underdog. The entire nation rallied around this team, it seemed like. We came on the air and said, look, the Detroit Lions have become America's team. And everybody started buying into it. We got into last season, went on an incredible run, ran into the buzzsaw that was the Washington Commanders.
They've been a fucking buzzsaw for us since the 90s.
Yeah, you're right about that. But they went into that game, I feel like, as the favorites because
they were the favorites. Washington had the mentality we had last year. They were the underdogs. They were, no one's going to count that. They're going into Detroit. Oh, they ain't going to make it out of Detroit. And then look what happened. They came out swinging right away, and we had some turnovers. We had some missed opportunities, and bing, bam, boom. Washington and Philly were in the NFC Championship, and I don't think anyone was getting past Philly last year besides the only chance we had was us because we were the only ones that could really stack up against them.
So my question to you two is this. If the Detroit Lions were to make it to the NFC Championship this season, that's coming up, and dare I say, if they were to advance to the Super Bowl, would America rally around this team like it did 2 years ago? Or would they be more apprehensive because of how they have performed when getting up to the upper echelon of the NFC?
Well, it depends on who they're playing.
Well,
if they're playing Kansas City, no, this ain't a shot against you. I can see America going for the Lions. But if the dream Super Bowl I want, if it's Detroit versus Buffalo, that's going to be a fucking split.
That one will be a split.
That will be a split because the Buffalo have been there 4 times and lost 4 years in a row. And everyone loves Josh Allen, and they've been fucking proving to everyone that they are a fucking team to worry about. That would be my dream Super Bowl is Buffalo versus Detroit, and that would be I think it'd be a split Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think that one would 100% be a split Super Bowl. And I think you're right. If they were against Kansas City, because there's so much Kansas City hate these days, because it's the same reason that
it's just the Lions have been down for so many years. Everyone's going to be like, I hope Detroit wins it.
On top of that, I think the Kansas City Chiefs have been there so many times lately that they kind of get the same fucking treatment
New England.
Yeah, the New England got because they're the dynasty. Everybody wants to see them lose or not get there anymore because they're sick of seeing them.
So,
I'm not personally, but
yeah, we realize
and I really do think
hat
that Kansas City will make it back to the Super Bowl again this year because Mahomes gets receivers again. But honestly, it really comes down to, I think the matchup that Eric brought up, it would be a split thing because neither team has won a Super Bowl. Buffalo's been there 4 times, lost it every time.
Now, the craziest Super Bowl would be Buffalo, Minnesota, because they've both lost it 4 times.
Fuck Minnesota. They're not going to make it with JJ. But the Lions, you look at the Lions. The Lions were the most watched football team in America last year. That's America's new team.
They're exciting. They're exciting.
They're exciting. It's an offense that's a high caliber offense. They do a lot of crazy shit. It's 4th down. Fuck it. We're going for it. You know what I mean?
And they're putting up at least
chances.
35 to 40 points a game.
Well, they were the high score. They were the number 1 offense in the league last year.
Yeah, but they were just running them up.
They scored the most points. They were the number 1 offense in every category. It was fucking astonishing how good the Lions offense was last year. And you brought it up earlier. If they had a fucking defense and they weren't bringing people off the streets, they would have ran that shit right through the Super Bowl.
If you would have had Derek Barnes, you'd have had freaking Alex Anzalone 100%. You would have had Aiden Hutchinson, Rodriguez,
Aleem
McNeil,
everybody,
everyone.
Just mark down everybody off the list.
Pretty
besides
much,
Terrion Arnold, and Brian Branch, because those are the only 2 that
and
really
Kirby
made.
Joseph.
Yeah, those are the 3 that fucking just made it through the season last year.
So I do have a question for you. I'm very curious about this. is this is going on this year. This is going on September 7th. By the way, it was my daughter's birthday. Greatest day of my life. But is this Green Bay Packers game more important than the Baltimore or Cincinnati game this year? Because it is a divisional game and it is week 1. Do you need to come out and show the NFL just because you have new coordinators that it's not the same, that we're still the same old, like we're the Lions that we are, and we're going to go into Lambeau early and show them who we are?
Well, I think
is the Green Bay game more important than, because Baltimore's tough, and I'm going to Joe Burrow's going to be tough to go there to Cincy and play.
Yeah. So we'll get to Jason here in a minute, his opinion on this one, but I'll put mine out first. I think that game, I don't even know if it matters so much that it's Green Bay.
No, it does, because it's a divisional game.
Well,
it's
a
week
divisional
1,
game,
and you're at Lambeau.
Well, hear me out, dude. Are you gonna let me talk?
Maybe.
It's
fucking Lambeau. I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
I don't think it would have mattered who was the first game of the year, to be honest. I think with the new coordinators, to prove everybody wrong, no matter who the opponent was, this was going to be the most important game of the year to come out there and show that the Lions are still it. And I mean, is it an important game because it's a divisional game? Yeah, 100%. Any divisional game is important because that makes up almost half of your fucking your schedule for the year. So those games are always important. If you can clear all those divisions, I mean, you're going at least 6 wins if you can win all those. But I don't think it would have mattered if it was Green Bay or if it was Baltimore that first game, or whoever it was that first game. That first game is the most important with the new coordinators to prove that the Lions aren't falling off this year. And I can't wait to get into this next week, as I'm going to plug again our all NFL show next week with Isaac Valenti from the Fun Football Podcast.
The Fun Football Podcast, baby.
I've been listening to him a lot, and he's actually got a really great show, and I want to pick his brain on a few things. But he just happens to be a Packers fan.
Oh, so shit.
You're going to have to save the sound bites on this one coming up next week, Jason, because this is going to be a fun one.
But I think this is one of the most important games because you're going to Lambeau, and it's week 1 because you got 2 divisional games right off rip,
dude.
If you
Green Bay hasn't beat us in like a couple of years, so I don't think that matters.
It's great. Everyone has. Do you know the Lions are the most bet on team to not make the playoffs?
Yeah, because
everyone thinks it's going to be different
because the odds are so high. So you can bet $5 and win fucking $500, $1,000,
something like that. Something like that. But it's but it's still like.
But I think before we get too crazy off track, I want to hear Jason's opinion on this.
Fair enough, Jason. What is your opinion on your question? I'm kind of biased right now because he's wearing fucking green. So
he's wearing a sports reel.
I know the sports reel, but
that's
it's still
our
green.
Brand.
Maize and blue, baby. Maize and blue. Continue, Jason. What is your opinion on this?
My opinion is this is a huge game for the Detroit Lions. I think it is an important. It's an important for 2 reasons. One, it is a division game. It's one of our most hated rivals in the Green Bay Packers. As you guys were talking, just for shits and giggles, I went to Lambeau Field's Ticketmaster to see how much the tickets are for this game.
Let me guess. For that game, it's probably like $350.
$257 is the cheapest ticket at Lambeau Field. If you wanted
cheapest. Okay. I was just shooting hives. I'm like, it's going to be a huge game. It's all divisional games are always high.
Right. So I personally feel like that the Detroit Lions have an opportunity here to come out of the gate, smash the shit out of a division rival, and to prove that their success did not solely rely on the coordinators that have gone to different teams. And there is this opportunity right now to come out and be like, no, there's more to our team than Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn. And it is a Packers. And for me personally, because I cannot stand the Green Bay Packers, I will root for them almost to lose any other team except the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are the
100% on 100% on the same train with you on that.
I do not root for the Cowboys. I will not root for the Cowboys. They are the New York Yankees of the NFL in my fan. And so, I mean, other than that, Green Bay has always been a dangerous team.
Highlight that last comment. Highlight that last comment.
Okay.
Tim just walked in so he can read that too, and that is huge because the first two games are divisional and how hard the road schedule is for the Lions. This Packers game is huge, even though last year we went 8-0 on the road, but it is still. I feel like it's a very huge game. Like I think it's. I would say it's number two. I'd say it's number two. Because you gotta go. You're gonna have Chicago at home as the home opener. Not trying to cut you off, Jason, but then at the last week you got to go into Chicago and whoop some ass still, just to make sure you win that division. Because you don't know how the year is gonna go.
No, that's true. That's 100% true. Looking at their schedule,
they have Green Bay away, then they have Chicago, then they have Baltimore. I can't remember who week 4 is. I want to say week 4 is against the Cleveland Browns.
Then at Cincinnati.
Yep.
At Kansas City.
That'll be a big one.
Home against Tampa Bay.
That's always a big one. Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off, but Baker Mayfield he's not a thorn, but he's a great quarterback, and he plays us very well. He really does. We have known the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pretty well the last couple of years, but continue. Sorry about that.
Week 8 is their bye. Then week 9, home against the Vikings. Week 10, they're at Washington. Week 11, at Philadelphia. Week 12, home against the Giants. 13, home against Green Bay. Week 14, home against Dallas. Week 15, this is going to probably wind up being a bigger game, at the Rams.
That'll be a big one.
Yeah. Then week 16, another hard-hitting game, I have no doubt. At least that's what I expect at this point. Home against the Steelers. 17, at Minnesota. Week 18, at Chicago.
Well, let's hope that this year doesn't roll down to the last week again like last year.
Honestly, the one away game I'm worried about the most is Washington, because that field is known to hurt players and take players out.
Yeah, but I mean, you always have to worry about that. But
but I'm just saying, like, that field is cursed, man. Like, you've had 2 quarterbacks break their damn leg on that field.
Yeah,
that is a dangerous field, and all the players have mentioned how that field needs to be redone. So, like, going there to play is
there's a few fields in the NFL.
Yeah, but I'm just like, and that's going to be a redemption game against Washington. They're gonna be ready for that one.
That one we're gonna come out and kick the shit out of them. And next week we'll get into. I want to get deep into. Obviously, we need to spend a lot of time. I mean, we have fucking hours of NFL next week, so we'll get into what we think their predictions are going to be for the year per game. But yeah, Scott brought up a good point that those first 2 wins
are huge.
They're huge in the division just to get the lead in that division. I think we take Green Bay easy the first game. I still say
I don't think easy. It's Green Bay.
I think they're going to be hot and out to prove a point. So I think it's going to be.
I think it'll be easy against Chicago because Ben Johnson's coming back to Detroit, and Detroit's going to be fucking
I think Chicago's going to be a harder matchup this year because Ben Johnson knows our schemes.
Just because he knows our schemes just doesn't mean he has the talent like us.
You want to give you a point to prove it? When Matt Patricia was here and we played New England the year that they won the Super Bowl, we beat the shit out of them because we knew their schemes. The same thing that Ben Johnson's going to do to us. They're going to play us a lot harder. Chicago's going to be tougher than they normally are.
They usually have a pretty good defense. You're not wrong. Okay.
They have a top at least top 10 defense every year. And Caleb's actually got an offensive line this year, which makes them a little bit scary because last year they didn't have an offensive line because they went out and got Joe Tooney and they got one of our old fucking offensive linemen. They have an offensive line this year. So Chicago's going to have an up year. I'm going to go out there and say I think Chicago is going to be number 2 in the division this year behind Lions.
He's going to be too worried about painting his nails. He ain't going to be that good. Caleb
was good last year when he got time to fucking play.
He did. You're not wrong.
But if when the line fucking fell apart, he turned to shit. And the coaching was fucking horrendous last year. And we don't know how Ben Johnson's going to do as a head coach yet, but we know what he does as an offensive coordinator.
I hope fucking
And
horrible,
as an offensive
honestly.
coordinator, he ran the number 1 scoring offense in the fucking league last year. He ran the number 1 offense in the league last year.
Look at the weapons he had though last year. Look at the weapons he had with Detroit. Look at the weapons he has in
He's got
Chicago.
some fucking weapons in
Some,
Chicago,
but he doesn't
bro.
have fucking 20.
He's got fucking DeAndre Swift.
And he's washed up. Fuck
He's
Swift.
not washed up.
He's
We
washed
drafted
up.
him in 22, bro.
And he's washed up. He barely did shit last year. He ain't gonna do shit this year.
Because they didn't have an offensive line. They have an offensive line. I guarantee right now you put Gibbs on a team that doesn't have an offensive line, he doesn't look as fucking tremendous as he looks now, to be honest. You need that offensive line to be able
When
to
you're the number 2 or number 1 running back in the league, you can go to any fucking offensive line and look good.
No, dude. No.
You don't know what you're talking about. You work Kansas City right now. You don't know what you're talking about.
Fuck. Yeah, and Kansas City always has a good fucking offensive line, usually, except for last year.
Yeah, but that's what they pay. They pay the refs. It's okay. We all know.
But anyways, I think Chicago is going to be more of a tough matchup this year than Green Bay.
I would agree with you on that. I'd agree with you on that. But let's get to the other cuts and signings of the NFL because we do have other things to talk about besides the Lions, even though we are based out of Michigan and we love our Lions. But Cincinnati signed their defensive end to a 1-year deal.
Yeah, they finally
said, hey, they're like, hey, no one wants them for too much. We're trying to ask too much for them, and they finally decided to sign them. But
they signed him for $14 million
for 1 year
on the year to add on to his contract, which tells me that this is probably going to be his last year in Cincy. Otherwise, they would have.
They don't have no money. They spent all their money on 4 players.
Yeah, they spent it all on fucking wide receivers and a quarterback.
The quarterback's the best quarterback in the league.
He's not the best.
Yes,
I put him at number 2.
He is number 1.
If he was at number 1, he'd won a fucking Super Bowl already. I can tell you one quarterback now who's better.
That is just like they're saying.
Been to the last 5 of the 6 fucking Super Bowl, has been to the AFC Championship game the last 7 years, has fucking won 3 Super Bowls already, all before fucking he turned 30. His name is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, and what did he inherit when he got drafted? He inherited a very good Kansas City team. This is just like the comparison to Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford. You swap those two, Stafford would probably have at least 3 to 4 Super Bowl rings in Green Bay.
I don't know because Aaron Rodgers.
Matthew Stafford went into the SEC and started at Georgia as a freshman and played 4 years, as Aaron Rodgers went to Cal and didn't start all 4 years. He went to a harder division and played better. He got drafted number 1 overall and completely changed the mentality in Detroit. Stafford was better than Aaron Rodgers, just like Joe Burrow went to Cincinnati.
Let me ask you
this.
And
Patrick Mahomes went and sat behind Alex Smith and learned for a year or 2 and then took over a great team.
Let me ask you this.
You could put look at Brock Purdy. Look at Brock Purdy, motherfucker.
I'll make a point.
Your point sucks.
I'll make a point. Joe Burrow has arguably the number 2 best receiver in the league because, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, you can put them up on that list.
I would put Chase over Jefferson.
In my opinion, I put Jefferson over Chase, but it's real close. You know what I mean? The offensive weapons that Joe Burrow has
is 2.
What did Patrick Mahomes have last year? And he went to a Super Bowl. He had no receivers.
Yeah, he had DeAndre Hopkins.
He had DeAndre Hopkins, who's aging, who didn't really do shit once he came to the team.
Because he didn't throw him the ball.
He wasn't getting fucking open. He's old and slow. He didn't have Rice. Rice got injured at the beginning of the season.
That is true. He did.
They lost their running back for the majority of the season, and that's when they had to go.
So that's just like Detroit was losing their defense.
Kareem Hunt. He had no offensive weapons, still went to the Super Bowl.
So Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce didn't do shit last year, bro.
Because he sucks and he's washed up.
He's not washed up.
They ain't going to Super Bowl.
He is America's prince. He's the closest thing to royalty we have in America.
Shut down the podcast. I'm fucking done with this.
Taylor
Shut
Swift.
it fucking down. We have a half hour extra. Shut it the fuck down.
When I get off this podcast tonight, I am ordering a Taylor Swift t-shirt to wear on this show next week.
I will fucking not be here. I will fucking shit my pants or something.
Up for that. Do not set yourself up.
I'd rather hope for the Pope.
You've already admitted before
hope for
on
the
this
damn
show.
Pope.
You've already admitted on the show before that Patrick Mahomes is number one, and we went down the list.
How drunk was I?
How drunk was I? Joe Burrow is number 2. Lamar Jackson is
number 1.
Lamar Jackson is number 4. Josh Allen is number 3.
Who's number 3? Okay.
Josh Allen's number 3. I put Joe Burrow at number 2. But I cannot give him number 2 because he hasn't won the big one yet.
I can only put him at number 2 because what he has inherited and what Patrick Mahomes has inherited as an NFL team.
That motherfucker's got Jamar Chase.
He doesn't have an offensive line, does not have a defense. Patrick Mahomes has all those things.
Motherfucker should have just not paid Jamar Chase so much money and hired a fucking offensive line.
Then tell this fucking general manager not to do that then. Yeah, tell that to keep that guy with not paying him that much fucking money. God, you. Jason starts off with something different. This guy's pissing me off. Not really, though, but it's just good talk.
The Carolina Panthers are going to have a much better season this year than they did last year.
They will. I fucking hate these noises. I'm going to break that fucking thing. No.
That was perfect timing.
It was.
You said Carolina Panthers.
It was.
And Jason, you're looking phenomenal right now, by the way.
Yeah, you're fuzzy as shit, just like fucking Tim's vision.
Listen, I don't know.
They signed Trey Hendrickson or fucking whatever.
Oh yeah, that's how we got this whole thing.
Yep.
They re-signed Trey Hendrickson.
They've signed him, so you spent a lot of money on 4 players. So yeah, this is probably his last year in Cincinnati, and you still got Micah Parsons wanting to trade in Dallas. So what's that going to be like? Is Micah Parsons going to hold out like Antonio Brown did? How Le'Veon Bell did? What is he going to do?
So here's the deal is what I heard, and I saw this on the thing, and I should have shared it on the page anyways, is that fucking Micah Parsons, he was all good to go on a deal. Jerry Jones came out and said, I had a deal with Micah Parsons.
Right. And then his agent said, shove it up your ass.
Yeah, the agent got a hold of him and told him to shove it up his ass, even though Micah Parsons was good with it. So there seems to be some turmoil between Jerry Jones and fuck Jerry Jones. That guy just needs to give up the team. Or, hire a general manager to run this shit for you, brother, because your team is shit and it's going to stay shit as long as you're running it. But he had a deal apparently all worked out with Micah Parsons, and the agent came out and said, shove it up your ass. And I don't know what the deal was, if it was on par with what they did with Trey Hendrickson, if it was just another year, add some money on or not, or if it was a full-on, 4-year extension.
If I had to guess, it was probably a 4-year extension because Jerry Jones wants to keep him because he's really good.
He is really good. And honestly, if it wasn't more than fucking Max Crosby got or Myles Garrett got, then his agent probably told him to shove it up his ass, because at that point you're resetting the market. We're going to run into the same problem with Hutch. Hutch is going to go for more than those guys. So I'm actually hoping that he ends up sitting out part of the year, kind of like Chris Jones did last year, where he sat out the first game of the season, and then they re-signed him to that deal, because that gives us more time to try to hammer out a deal with Hutch, because the longer we wait, and if they sign Parsons, it's going to reset the market, and we're going to have to pay Hutch more. Not that the Hutch isn't worth it, because Hutch is 100% worth it, in my opinion. I'm still calling it Defensive Player of the Year this year. I know you guys are saying Comeback Player of the Year. I'm saying straight up. I'm straight up Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's going to go down with at least 20 sacks this year.
That'd be great.
And he might even set sack record this year. I'll call it right now. Aiden Hutchinson sets the sack record.
How many sacks does he need?
Can you look up that stat real quick, Jason? Is it 23?
Because the record holder for Michael Strahan's 22.5, I believe. Fact check me, Jason.
Yeah, we'll look at that. But
I believe it's 22.5. I think you need 23.
But yeah, the Parsons deal, I mean, right now he was getting some shit because he was laying down on a bench. You know, he wasn't dressed. He was just laying down on a bench. Like, he's all disgruntled. And like, I mean, if you were already agreeing with it with Jerry Jones and your fucking agent steps in the way, it's probably time to
why you have an agent. Why you have an agent? But
I mean, but if you're good with it, fuck your agent.
Yeah. Okay. What's that record at, Jason?
According to ProFootballReference.com, it's Michael Strahan 22.5, TJ Watt 22.5.
There's some guy from the Jets that's under them.
Mark Gastineau.
That's it. Yep, and he's mad at Brett Favre because he laid down for Michael Strahan. I remember that.
Yep.
I remember all that kind of
22.0 for it. Yep. In
So
1984.
Right, 22.5. Hutch could beat that easily.
23 sacks. I mean, he was at 7.5 sacks already in 4 games last season before he went down.
Yeah.
And he went down. I mean, honestly, if you're going to go down, he went down last year sacking Dak Prescott.
He did.
So, like, that was
Snapped his
pretty
leg.
fucking legit. And honestly, we're talking about that because he said in practice a couple weeks ago, he had a similar situation happen where one of the reporters was asking him, I saw you hit and your leg do the same thing that it did when it broke when you whip around, because Hutch is so aggressive.
So fast. He
He's
comes off
so
the edge fast.
And when he wraps up around the fucking quarterback, he throws his whole body weight around and he pulls him down. Obviously, this day and age, things are a little bit differently. You can't just fucking hammer him and come down with all your weight on top, that you have to go around and pull him down.
Wish he could.
Yeah, if you could, that injury probably would have never happened, to be honest, if it was old school football. But with the new football, you have to pull them down. You can't bring your weight down on top of them. So he has the habit of wrapping up, swinging around. But he had a similar situation happen in practice. And the reporter asked how his leg felt. And he said, it's titanium now. It ain't going to break. You know,
That's
like
true.
I'm good to go as long as the other fucking leg doesn't break. But, you know, like he's going to call it sack record this year, defensive player of the year. Just calling it right now. And Dan Campbell, not going to win coach of the year. And actually, I was looking at the other day and I was reading a stat on it. Somebody who's been shafted on coach of the year even more than Dan Campbell is Andy Reid. You know, that motherfucker hasn't got coach of the year.
Makes sense.
Ever. Like, how does Andy Reid, I mean, arguably he's going to go down as probably one of the greatest coaches to ever coach an NFL team.
Has Bill
And he's
Belichick ever gotten coach of the year?
Can you look to see if Bill Belichick has ever gotten coach of the year?
Of course.
I think mainly coaches of the year is like a coach has brought a team up from like Ben Johnson has the best chance.
Yeah, but it's kind of bullshit, to be honest.
It is.
And you
look at like Dan Campbell, his best year was probably last year to win coach of the year.
And he got robbed.
No.
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. And he still didn't.
He got robbed last
year. Who
year.
was it? Fucking goddamn the Philadelphia coach that won it that year, I believe.
Well, 2 years ago it was fucking Minnesota's coach.
That's it. Yep, that's who we got robbed by.
Bill Belichick has won 3 coach of the year awards.
Okay.
So
2007 and 2010.
So 2007 is when they went 16-0 and lost the Super Bowl. And then 2010, I don't know what their record was then, but they
14-2.
Yep. So they probably were in the Super Bowl then.
So can you fact check me on the Andy Reid thing too once you're done looking at that?
Yes, sir. Stand by. Andy Reid won it in 2002 with the Eagles.
Oh,
So
okay,
he's won it. He's won
with
it.
the Eagles. But he's never won it in Kansas City, and he's taken them to 7 straight AFC championship games. 5 fucking Super Bowls already, and has not won coach of the
7
year.
straight NCAA championship games. The Bengals beat them in 2020 to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's not. Oh, yeah.
They've won 5 out of the 7.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
They lost to
Joe Burrow,
and then they lost to fucking
Tom Brady. Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes has only ever lost to 3 quarterbacks in the postseason, and that was Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, which he lost twice, and Jalen Hurts.
Okay, so that what I just read you was the AP, the Associated Press, NFL Coach of the Year. I'm scrolling down here. The Sporting News NFL Coach of the Year.
The AP is the big one.
Right. But the Sporting News, Andy Reid has won 2 Coach of the Year awards. 2000 and 2002, both with the Eagles. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And he was a great quarterback with the Eagles.
Oh,
and actually, I look back at it, and we bring up the Kelce's. Andy Reid's actually drafted both the Kelce brothers.
Yes.
Because he drafted Jason with the Eagles, and then he went on to draft Travis with the Chiefs.
Yep.
Andy Reid also won the Sporting News Coach of the Year in 2018 with the Chiefs.
And that was 1 year before they won the Super Bowl.
Dan Campbell won it in 2023.
Much deserved. He should have won the AP in 2023. He should have won it in 2024.
And then you've got the Pro Football Weekly. Man, there's a lot of Coach of the Years. Andy Reid in 2002. Bill Belichick won 2 of them. But it doesn't tell me what years or when his first year was. The first one was 2000, or the last one was 2007. But they haven't handed out another Coach of the Year since 2008. So if that means anything.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But my point being in all of that is not only has Dan Campbell gotten robbed by the AP over the last few years, but Andy Reid's been totally shut out by them. And does it have to do with the fact that, yeah, he's got good teams that he coaches, but are those teams as good as what they could be without him? You know what I mean?
Right.
Andy Reid's going to go down as a Hall of Fame coach when it's all said and done. I mean, you look at his numbers with Kansas City since he's come there. I mean, they're astronomical, especially through the postseason. I mean, he's been spot on, one of the greatest coaches ever do it. And I think Dan Campbell can get to that same thing. It's just getting over that hump right now. Let's get to that point where we win this thing. And I think they're close. You know what I mean? If it's, if I'm going to call it, if it's not this year, it's next year. If people are having a little bit of, standoffishness because of the new coordinators, even though I don't think it's going to affect it so much, because people seem to forget that these coordinators have also been part of this program during the rebuild. So they know how we do things. So both of these guys are offensive coordinator. He was with us in, I think, 22. So he knows how the whole Ben Johnson thing rolls. He can add some pieces to that. And then Shepard, our defensive coordinator, he trained under Aaron Glenn to take over this position once Aaron Glenn left. So I don't see defense changing so much. And you brought up the point where, he's more aggressive.
Derek Barnes is saying he's more aggressive than Aaron Glenn.
So I don't think this isn't your typical, I hired a new coordinator off the street who doesn't know anything about the program and wants to change everything. It's going to be business as usual with a little bit, extra caveat on top of it. So I don't think it's going to affect teams as much as it is. And you look at also at this point, and I heard this brought up on the New Heights podcast when they brought this up with the new coordinators in the past. Travis Kelce goes, we get new fucking coordinators all the time. We're you just roll with the punches and you're still good. Because their guys, they've been to so many that sometimes their coordinators get hired away. Now, Spags has been there for years because he went on to try to be a head coach and he didn't do as good as a head coach, so they brought him back. But they're constantly switching coaches, and coaches are leaving there to go to other teams and shit like that. So there's constant turnover. I mean, you look at the Eagles, they completely switched coordinators 2 years ago, and they just won the Super Bowl last year.
So you know who they beat?
Oh, I know exactly who they beat. I watched the game.
Good. I just want you to remember that.
I was wearing this hat when they lost the game.
It's a bad hat
I was
to wear,
wearing
though.
this jersey back here when they lost the game, and I retired that jersey to the wall after that. Now I'm going to start wearing the red one. But
you're going to look like a giant red rocket.
It just proves the fact that sometimes these people look at these coordinator situations and they start thinking the worst, but it's still the same players on the field. The players are the ones that make it happen. And when you bring two coordinators that know the program already, that have been part of the rebuild, that have been there through all of this, I don't think much is going to change. So stop your fucking worrying.
Okay. Stop
In the
it.
history of the AP NFL Coach of the Year, only 2 coaches from the Detroit Lions have been awarded this. 1957 was George Wilson, in which case he took the Lions to the NFL championship, not the Super Bowl, the NFL championship.
That was the year before they made the Super Bowl. So if they made it 1 year before, the Lions would have been the first Super Bowl winners, but the Packers were.
Right. And then 1991, Wayne Fox.
Yep. And that's when Barry Sanders led him. No, yep, that was back when Barry Sanders led him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was a good. That was a. I mean, much deserved back then because, I mean, if I'm
much
hoping
deserved
history
back
does
then,
it.
it was hand the ball to Barry and watch him fucking run.
Well, Barry's the greatest running back to ever play the game, and I'll stand my ground on that. I don't give a fuck anybody whoever says Barry Sanders was the greatest to ever play this game. And if he would have been on a different team, there wouldn't be any argument about that at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I know people like to argue it, but you're not going to argue it. Like,
nope.
Barry Sanders was the greatest. He was on a subpar team, and he fucking took that team to where it got to. Granted, he had a hell of an offensive line back then too. But yeah, Eric sounds like he's got a point here he wants to make.
Well, just we've been talking about the Lions and coordinators for a while. I'm like, I get that, but we got other football news to cover. Like, Terry McLaurin's signed his deal, 3-year extension.
He did.
That Washington was going to lose a star receiver, and they finally worked out a deal with that. So I think that definitely helped out Jane Daniels in that aspect.
3 years, $39 million.
That's huge for them because he is honestly, he's a solid receiver for that team.
He is.
And that's the only receiver they really have.
He's so solid that I drafted him in my fantasy league.
Exactly. See, so like there's just more. I will. We could talk about Lions 24/7. I'd be fine with that. But
I'm trying to save a little bit for next week too, because we have a whole show on fucking football next week.
Oh, I know we do. But there's still just stuff that happened this week we got to talk about and all that. But that's really what I am. Just a signs and cuts.
I saw Kenny Pickett got sent to Las Vegas.
Yep, that was kind of big.
Yep. Obviously, what the fuck's his name out there that got injured? Aiden McConnell or Connell? What the fuck's his name? I can't remember. He got injured. So yeah, I think they traded Kenny Pickett. Cleveland traded Kenny Pickett to them for a 6th-round pick because their quarterback out there got hurt.
So how many weeks do you think it's going to take before Shadir Sanders takes a starting spot in Cleveland?
After his last performance of the preseason game, I don't know if that's going to happen now at this point.
Was it bad? I did not pay attention.
It was real bad.
Okay, never mind. I thought they were going to tire his jersey already, but okay.
No, like he looked good early on, but the last few that last game, I think he played 5 minutes total, threw 2 interceptions, took a couple sacks. Like it did not look good at all. So I think that kind of took a little, push off of him.
Step back.
Yeah, step back, but he's young.
He's very young. And
Flacco's going to start for them at the beginning of the year.
It makes sense because he's a veteran quarterback. He has won a Super Bowl.
He has, and the last time he played with Cleveland, he took him to the fucking playoffs.
He did. He played very well with Cleveland the last time, and honestly, I hope he does it again.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance. He's a great quarterback. The team itself,
great. I'd say a good quarterback.
I mean, it depends on I'm not saying.
Are you going elite, great,
yeah,
then
I'm not
good?
saying
Okay,
he's elite.
Okay, so great quarterback. I could agree with you on that. I can agree with you on that.
When I think good,
think of Jordan Love,
stuff like that. They're good quarterbacks. I mean, Joe Flacco through his career. I mean, he went to a Super Bowl. He's older now. We have to remember that
he's 40 years old.
Yeah, he's 40. He's not the Joe Flacco of his, of his 20s and early 30s.
No, yeah, because that's when he had a stacked team in Baltimore.
Yeah, but he can still put up numbers. He's still really good. I put him on par right there with an Aaron Rodgers, to be honest.
Yeah, because if Aaron Rodgers didn't have the couple seasons where he's gone downhill, he would still be in the elite quarterback discussion. Yeah. But he's had so many seasons where he's gone downhill.
You know what he should have done? He should have just retired after Green Bay was done, because then he would have been like a fucking fucking Hall of Famer. No,
Yeah, but
Mars
he's
on
not
his
done.
record.
He's not done. Just like Tom Brady wasn't done. But
the Tom Brady, fuck.
should we?
Tom Brady was elite of elite, and he proved it when he went to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl in that first year. He should have retired that year instead of coming back the next year.
Agreed.
Like, he should have just retired, went out on top right there, proved that it was Brady and not Belichick by going to Tampa Bay. And
You just want to see if he can win 2 more.
Yeah, he just, that next year just did not.
Eventually, he's going to come out and win another one, probably.
I mean, he did try to come to Detroit, and he said that.
He's like, literally, he's like, I'll come and take Jared Goff's job, and I'll play in that fun offense. He wanted to.
Yeah.
And if you got him here,
Brett, I would still take Jared Goff over Tom Brady, in my opinion. They're both similar quarterbacks. They do the same thing. Brady is just, I mean, he's fucking 45 years old now.
Brady.
Yeah, but it's not Brady at 35. It's Brady at 45. You know what I mean? He hasn't played
even
football
be better.
in fucking
He might
2
even
years.
be better.
He's not better. He's had too much fucking plastic surgery done.
That's fair enough. Jason, how much time do you got? I know we were almost coming up on 2 hours. And we got
about 10 minutes or so.
All right.
Let's
in
get
that case. For all my fans who tune into us from all across the world, that I'm pretty excited about, because like I said earlier, 25% of our fans have been tuning in from England or the UK in general, which could have something to do with the fact that Mr. Tommy Fleetwood not only got his PGA or his first PGA Tour win this past week, but he also won the Tour Championship, which is kind of a little bit fucked up, to be honest, when I tell you this. They changed the rules on that tournament this year. So when you go into the final day, or just this tournament in general, it used to go off of points leading up to this tournament. So you build up points all season long, and that gets you into this tournament, which is for the FedEx Cup. And your placement in that tournament was based on the points that you earned. Now, if you went off the old structure that they used to run through this tournament, Scotty Scheffler would have won this thing without even winning the tournament, just based off the fact that he accumulated so many points. I mean, he won 5 tournaments this year, 2 majors. I mean, he accumulated a ton of points this year. But I'm not going to take the fact away from, I'm not going to take it away from Tommy Fleetwood, because Tommy Fleetwood played one hell of a tournament here. And this is the new rules that we played under. So he was able to come in here and play one hell of a week of golf. And I mean, if you follow our page, which I know a lot of people view it, we just need a little bit more of you to follow it. So if you're watching this show and you don't follow us, like and follow that page. It helps us out tremendously, and we appreciate it. But a ton of views for this post that I put out about Tommy Fleetwood. Much deserved. He finally pulled together a full tournament, didn't fall apart at the end, and cleared this thing up. And he won by 3 strokes. So big congratulations to Tommy Fleetwood for not only your first PGA Tour win, but it also being the Tour Championship, which is huge. Big shout out to Patrick Cantley, even though he was annoying the fuck out of me with his 30,000 fucking little waggles and shimmy shakes that he does before he hits the ball in his slow play. He tied for second with Henley. There's a lot of shit about this, and I was watching it, and this motherfucker shimmies more than anybody I've ever seen in my life. He sits there and looks like he's dancing before he hits a shot, and his routine is so fucking outrageous. It's crazy, but it got him to second place at this tournament, and he missed a putt at the end there that cost him fucking almost $750,000 if he would have got fucking second place, alone. But he had to split it with Henley. Connor's in fourth. Oh, sorry, first. Oh, fuck, drinking. Whoop. Cam the Hammer Young came in 4th year. He was playing hot all weekend. He was definitely cranking it with that wood.
Yeah, you got him with that one. You got him with that one.
What the fuck, man?
He had one hell of a weekend. He played really well. He had a few fall apart holes there at the end where he couldn't seem to get a putt to sink. Maybe if he was hitting it with one of his woods, he would have did a little bit better. But Scotty Scheffler, he had a bad double bogey on 15 there that kind of put him out of contention, so he fell back to fourth, which no argument there. I mean, his last 10 tournaments, he's been in the top 10. Or the last 20, I think it is, if I'm speaking correctly. But Scotty Scheffler, like I said, if this was off the old standards that they played this tournament, Scotty Scheffler would have won it hands down. But with the new thing, he placed fourth. Sam Burns in seventh. He did really well. Keegan Bradley, which we happened to get to follow there for a while, Jason, at the Rocket, because we followed him and Lanto Griffin. He placed seventh here. Justin Thomas, seventh. Gadarup, 10th. Ben Griffin, 10th. Victor Hovland, 12th. Batia, 13th. Shane Lowry, 13th. Ben Harmon, 13th. Hayden English in 13th also. Then we had Hall, McIntyre, which was running pretty strong there a couple weeks ago, but he kind of fell off in 17th. Taylor in 19th, tied with Morikawa, which I just keep getting flashbacks of Morikawa and seeing him walk down that first hole there when we were at the Rocket and realize how tiny that dude is. Aberg in 21st with Rose, McNeely in 23rd. Rory fell all the way back to 23rd here, which makes me question whether or not Rory took off a little bit too much time this year, because ever since he won the Masters, I think we've only seen him play like 4 times. So he hasn't played a lot. He's focusing more on family. Good for him. Did he need to play a lot to get to this point in the season? No, but could it have helped with his game heading into this to possibly win another FedEx Cup? Probably. Then we had Novak in 25th, JJ Spawn in 25th, who's been pretty hot this year. Just couldn't pull it together this weekend. We had him in 27th, Bridgman, Matsuyama in 29th, and Straka in 30th. Needless to say, it was a hell of a tour championship. If any of you got to watch it, I tried to keep everybody updated throughout the weekend. I know our golf content has actually been one of our number one things driving, people to the page, and I appreciate all of you that follow for the golf. I know it's going to slow down a little bit here because obviously we're kind of in a layover. That was the end of the season. I'll try to keep some content going, but right now we're leading up to the Ryder Cup, which is going to be the next big thing, which I'm pretty excited about. That's in September here. So I'll be leading up to that. And there's still tournaments going on, but you're not going to see too many of these big names playing in them. Otherwise, other than the fact that maybe someone will play with it to try to get some reps in before the Ryder Cup. I did drop on the page the teams, not only for the U.S., but the European team there, obviously leaded out by Rory McIlroy. So if you go to our page, you can find the teams that they've been listed. Those are your main people playing in it. The backups haven't been 100% announced yet. I know Keegan Bradley is, the team leader of the U.S. team. So we're waiting to see who he comes out with, who he chooses for the team, because he gets to pick the teams other than the top, 6. The top 6 automatically qualify based on points, and then he picks the players beyond that. And there's still toss up in the air whether or not he's actually, it's not usual that a captain of the team plays for the team, but there's a lot of argument that Keegan Bradley had a good enough a season where he should be able to play for the team. So we'll be leading up to that, and I'll be keeping everybody updated to the news on that. But once again, I want to give a shout out to Tommy Fleetwood. One hell of a tournament. Congratulations on your first tour win and it being the tour championship. You couldn't ask for anything more there. Hope that you get many more wins in the future. I know you're a European player and you guys don't have the Pope, but you happen to pull it out, even without a Pope, and big congratulations to you. And I hope many more victories in the future, and I hope you get a major under your belt this coming up year. You're a hell of a player. You're a nice guy. You always keep a cool, calm head. And that's one of the things I appreciate about you, even when you get, he's had 30 top 5 finishes, never a win up until this weekend. So hopefully this is just knocking that first one out and he can let loose now and actually start racking up some wins. He's the caliber of player that should be, right up there in the discussion as one of the best in the world, but he just hasn't been able to pull it all together yet. And one of these weeks, I'm going to get somebody else on the show who can talk golf with me too. Eventually, because sometimes it sounds like I'm a one-man show here giving you guys all the updates. But once again, I want to tell everybody I appreciate all you for coming on the page and liking our stuff, and especially all the fans all over the world, because like I said, the golf content has exploded on our Facebook page. It's done really, really well, and you guys are awesome. Just if you're listening to this, just like that page, because I was looking at the analytics, and like 90% of you don't follow us. So we got a small 10% that follow us, and 90% of you aren't. So just do us a favor, hit that like button, because it does big things for us. And doing that can also help us get other people on the show, because we need to build that presence. So my goal is eventually to get a lot more people on the show. But once we start showing those numbers, if you guys can just hit that like, we can make that happen. But other than that, that is my golf update this week, and I'll keep filling everybody in on the Ryder Cup coming up. But I appreciate you all. Tim's, I don't know how many minutes of golf talk.
10 minutes.
On
Yep, it was 10 minutes.
Brought to you by the PFC Entertainment Network.
It started at 1:50. Now it's 2 hours. We've been live. And just a side note that it has been 2,087 days since OSU has beat Michigan. Just want to keep that out there.
And before we get off the air here, Jason, because I know you're going to go into the whole end of the show antics here in a second, I want to once again remind everybody next week, September 2nd at 6. I don't know exactly what time we're going live. Chase got golf lessons next week.
6:30.
So
It'll be 6:30.
We'll get that. We'll say 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We'll be going live. We'll be joined by Isaac Valenti from the Fun Football Podcast. Hopefully, Devin
Bitch ass
Garcia, who's been on the show with us once before. We'll be talking nothing but football that week. So it's going to be a full football podcast, which is great that, the tour championship just happened, golf ended. So I don't have to throw on the Tim's 2 minutes of golf or 13 minutes or 15 minutes. I'm going to change that at some point, because golf's been really good to us. But yes, next week, September 2nd, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Isaac Valenti from the Fun Football Podcast, Devin
bitch ass
Garcia, Jason Clouse, Tim Sheridan, Eric Mendal, right here on the Sports World Podcast. We're bringing you at least an hour and a half of nothing but football talk, which I look forward to a lot.
2,087 days, boys.
All right. With that, I did get a DM on the PFC Facebook page from friend of the network, Josh. Asked me, he didn't want to bring it up on here because of the content. And I'll use this as my cheap plug for the programming note this week. He wanted to know if we were going to touch on this controversy, and we talked a little bit off air about it, involving Rajah Jackson, the son of Quentin Rampage Jackson, and what happened at this independent pro wrestling show last week. We're going to do a deep dive on this Friday on the Fatal 4-Way, which you can see exclusively on ONTV. We will be going live on the air at 6 p.m. this Friday night. Facebook.com/Orion ONTV. Stay tuned to our socials for all the latest news and information about that show and all the other great shows here on the PFC Entertainment Network. And if you haven't done so already, we encourage you to check out our fall lineup of merchandise. You can check that out at pfcfall2025.printify.me. Football jerseys, varsity jackets, travel cups, lunch bags, notebooks, all kinds of cool stuff with all the logos and designs of this show and all of our great other shows here on the network. With that, we appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight, and we will see you next week for a very special edition, an NFL season preview edition of the Sports Reel podcast here on the PFC Entertainment Network.
Go Tigers.
Fucking football's back, baby. Let's go.
Go Lions. And go the U.S. Ryder Cup team in September? I don't know. Fuck.
And fuck Kansas City.
Go Jason.